pretty sure he's probably made more money this year than I have. So,
since he started coming on the show, he's done well. We are live. Happy Thursday to all. Bear with me today. My voice is – I'm not sick, or at least I don't feel sick, but I've been coughing and my voice is going in and out here. But we got 10 games to get through, college basketball and NBA. And Toast has a smooth internet connection. He is officially hardwired into his modem now. No more choppy toast. Finally solved. So we're going to start off with a Big Ten game. Michigan on the road in Maryland. And the question is, do you value the strength of schedule? Because obviously Michigan's actually played and has some decent games in there, decent wins. Maryland doesn't. Or do you value the loss of the star player, McDaniel? Clearly the market values the loss of the star player because Maryland's laying 6.5 points here. Toast?
I mean, it's again. I got Maryland yesterday at 4. It's at 6.5 now. The world's on it. Not only do you have a Big Ten home team that has historically always played well, just in that conference in general. Look, Maryland is a very good defensive team. Like, that's their bread and butter. Offensively, definitely a little bit challenged. They are terrible shooting the 3-ball. I mean, they're terrible shooting. I mean, they're 46% effective field goal percentage. That's good for 304th in the country. I mean, it's just really hard to back this team. But they play defense and they rebound, and they can shoot free throws pretty decently. They match up size well with Michigan. The thing with Michigan is and if you listen to, like, their lives and stuff like that when they talk about all the people that are like within Michigan that knows what's going on, it's just a mess of a program. I mean, how do you suspend your star player for road games only?
I've never heard of that.
Like, it's just absolutely ridiculous. I understand that Juwan Howard hasn't been there all year, but it's just has taken a turn for a worse. And you've seen it in their last 5 games now. It started with a double overtime loss to Florida. They went back home in a get right spot, a bye game at McNeese State. They lose that one. Minnesota doesn't really look like a bad loss now because Minnesota continues to play well. But again, another home loss to a Minnesota team that you should be better than. And then again, another semi-away game at Penn State, and they lose again. So it's just really hard to back this Michigan team. Again, it's very public, and the world's on it, but I still think they lose by 10.
Yeah, I'll put mine up too. As I said on YouTube last night, Maryland's got good defensive numbers, even though their strength of schedule is in question. And then you got a Michigan team coming in on the road, missing their best player who's suspended. He's their best offensive player, leading scorer. Where are the points going to come from? Right, Andy?
Yeah, there's not going to be many points from anybody. I mean, their next leading shooter takes 30 less shots this season than Doug McDaniels, and he's a forward, so he's not going to be running the offense. They have nobody running the offense. Like you said, Maryland, good defense. Even in their Ken Pom top 100 games that they haven't won yet, their defense has looked good. It's just how bad their offense is. Against Villanova, they held them in the 60s, I believe. That was a good. They got trounced because they only scored like 46 in that game, but they kept them within the 60s. They don't give up a lot of points, even against the good teams. But so that's why I think Maryland covers today. I'm with him. I think 10's a good number. If McDaniel was playing, I think I could get to Michigan, especially at this number. Obviously, it went up because he's not playing. But without him, I mean, this team's already a mess. I don't expect it to get better without him. So.
All right, Maryland across the board. Our poll, however, a lot of people taking Michigan.
I don't hate that. The way that the college basketball has been this year, like, I don't really hate jumping back at the market. If you don't want to lay it with Maryland, maybe a better way to play it is Michigan team total under 67.5 because they could still cover and not hit that number.
Right.
I could definitely see that happening. So that's just another way to look at it, definitely.
Our community split 42% apiece. 13% clicked the under, so a decent amount of the people watching clicked on under. Next game. And now we're into some NBA. And we got 3 NBA games lined up in a row because actually the other college basketball games are at 9 o'clock start time. So we got 3 in a row. So let's bring up Prop Beaver. Someone in the comments says they like your hat, by the way.
Yeah, this was bought for me by Kyle after we cashed our first money line of the year in baseball season.
That's the hat I got you.
Yeah.
First bet of the season, afternoon game. Cubs money line, I believe, was like plus 120.
Yep, Stroh show against Corbin Burns. Stroman showed who's daddy.
Remember when you called the Aaron Judge first home run at his first at bat?
Don't make me miss baseball season because I'm getting there with how the NBA is going for me right now.
We're not talking about baseball. So you sent in a graphic. You sent in a graphic for this, so I know what you're on. Why don't you explain it to them?
Yeah. In this game, I'm on Jaylen Brown under 5.5 board to get that at -130 on FanDuel. I haven't been drinking too much juice this year, but I decided this is worth it. To play on the spot. Outlier performance last night against the Timberwolves. For some reason, him and Anthony Edwards have like a little bit of beef, I've noticed. And he always goes in both on the glass and on the scoreboard against those Minnesota Timberwolves. Had 11 last night. But the big thing was that Kristaps Porzingis was inactive. He's 7-2 to the over without him, averaging 7 boards a game this year. But if you look at Jaylen Brown, when the full starting 5 is active like they are tonight, he's gone under 13 of 15 games, averaging just 3.7 rebounds per game. He actually sits 5th amongst the 5 starters in rebound percentage and rebound differential when all of them are on the court. And he has some weak history against this Bucks team in terms of rebounding as well. Under his last 9 of 11 regular season matchups against Milwaukee, averaging less than 6. And in the first matchup this year against them, he only had 5 rebound chances, which is less than our total tonight. And he only converted that into 2 rebounds. Add in the fact that he's gone under 7 straight on 0 days rest going back to last season, averaging just 4 per game. And I think it's well worth the juice here. Gonna fade the outlier.
All right, so for me on this one, Bucks. Now, no question, pros, sharps, they're buying in on the other side. You can see I just made the chart bigger. Last night, this was Milwaukee -7. Then it was down to 6 this morning, 4.5, 3, 2.5. So no question the sharp money is coming in on Boston here. And I got terrible CLV because I gave up Bucks -6 on YouTube last night. I kind of don't care what the sharp money and the professional money's doing here. Listen, on paper, basketball-wise, no question, Boston +2.5, Boston +6, great value. They're the better overall basketball team. They play better defense. They're better at all the intangibles. They rebound better. Turnover margin, you name it, Boston's better. The only area where Milwaukee can compete with Boston is just field goal percentage, just scoring. Here's the thing, though. Spot-wise, everything points towards the Bucks. You got a Celtics team that just played an overtime game last night. Not to mention, things are flying. Vibes are high in Boston. I know the Bucks are sitting at the 2 seed, but that's not really what's going on. They're 1-4 in their last 5 games, 0-5 against the spread. Giannis in that press conference just sounded straight up pissed. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he didn't single anybody out. He called himself out as well. But I think that team's going to be motivated. It's been this Bucks team. We don't see him hit rock bottom much, and I think that's what they hit the other night. I think this is the Bucks definitely have this one circled, and I feel like it means a lot more to the Bucks in their home building than this one does to the Celtics. And I know a lot of people are pointing at a Drew Holiday revenge game. I see that, but I think it's also a revenge game for the entire Bucks building, the fan base. Everybody wants revenge on Drew Holiday. Not really revenge, because that implies that there's some negativity. But it's not just Drew Holiday that's trying to show them. I think they're trying to show Drew Holiday that we're fine with Dame and we're still the best team in the Eastern Conference. I think there's as much of that angle on Milwaukee's side as well. So perfect spot for Milwaukee. They haven't looked great, but I like them here. Our poll is on the Bucks. 49% said they would lay the 3 with Milwaukee. 35% said they would take the 3 with Boston. Next, and like I said, we got 2 more NBA in a row. So next up is Portland at OKC. Man, this sucks. This one's down to 12.5. It was at 13.5, so some Blazers got bought up at 13.5. As I said last night, I don't think Prop Beaver even sent in a bet for this one. You don't have anything for this one, right?
I would personally lay the 12.5 with the Thunder. I mean, just simply put, if you're looking at the matchup, I'm just trying to get the thing up right now. I mean, the Oklahoma City Thunder are a team that loves to attack the rim. Guess what? The Portland Trailblazers, they're goddamn awful at protecting the rim. They're also a team that allows a lot of fouls. Guys like SGA have a field day getting to the charity stripe. And then on the other side of the ball, I mean, you got the Portland Trailblazers, who are just not a great offense whatsoever. If there is a weakness for this Thunder defense, it would be allowing the 3 ball, but the Portland Trailblazers are just 22nd in frequency over the last 10 games. So I just don't really love the matchup for them. Sure, Oklahoma City's on a back-to-back, but guess what? Oklahoma City first in net differential on back-to-backs this year, 3-1 against the spread. I'm not seeing it. I've also seen a lot of people on the Portland Trailblazers team total over, which I don't necessarily hate, but I was looking at some of the prop lines today. I mean, the SGA line was egregious. The Jalen Williams line was
egregiously high or low?
Egregiously low, where it's like, I mean, they're like coming and begging you to bet these overs here. So that tells me it's gonna be a blowout. So I'm just gonna take the Thunder.
Yeah, not much for me to add on because I'm on the Thunder too. This one didn't make my ticket. If you watched last night's video, you know that I'm slightly leaning this way. This isn't a bet I really like, but for the same reasons. Portland has no presence down low, and Oklahoma City loves to attack the rim. They love to get to the interior, and they should have whatever they want down low in this game. And then the Portland defense on the perimeter I usually like because they create turnovers. They're one of the best defenses in the NBA, creating turnovers. But the Thunder don't turn the ball over at all. So this is a Thunder team that protects the basketball well. And simply by protecting the basketball, you've already neutralized Portland's best asset. Because that's what they do. They turn the ball over and they run in transition. And they kind of make you uncomfortable. Like they frustrate you where it's like, yo, we're better than this team. But they keep you off balance. And Oklahoma City just is down with that kind of game. They'll protect the basketball and they will not let you run the floor on them. So Oklahoma City's on a back-to-back, and we're talking about 12.5-point spread. It's a better spot for Portland. If you're taking the points with Portland, I get it. But I need a more favorable matchup to do it. So I would lean OKC, but I'm not kicking the door down to get you to tail me on this one. Our poll heavy on Oklahoma City here. 64%. Excuse me. 63% of you said you would lay the 12.5. Just 19% of you said you would take the 12.5 with Portland. Next, Knicks at Mavs. More NBA. All right, Knicks at Mavs. This line is now at 4. Mavericks plus 4, over 234.5, under 234.5. Prop Beaver, anything for this one? Actually, I know you do. You send it in. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm riding with the rebounding legend himself, Isaiah Hartenstein. Dude has been on fire lately. Now facing a Mavericks team that's down Luka. They're down Lively, two of their better rebounders. This is a defense that already allows the 6th most rebounds per game on the season and over the last 30 days to center. And look at these Hartenstein numbers since the OG Anunoby trade. Averaging 36 minutes per game. That's a ton of minutes. 13.6 rebounds per game, 20.6 chances per game. And on a season-long basis, 20.6 chances per game would be the 3rd highest in the NBA. Biggs in the top 10 of rebound chances against Dallas this season. 6-3 to 12-plus rebounds, averaging 12.8. And as I mentioned before, averaging 36 minutes. Only game he didn't hit 36 was against Portland, where they blew him out. With 33-plus minutes, he is cashed his last 6 and 9, averaging 13.3 rebounds per game. The game has a sharp spread, so I expect it to be close. I mean, no Luka, a lot of guys missing for Dallas, but the spread's only 4. I would have thought this would be about 7.5.
Scaring the shit out of me.
Yeah, I know. And with the Mavs hitting top 10 in pace, there should be plenty of chances to get it done here. So that's at plus 110. That's what I'm riding with. Yeah.
As you know, if you watched last night, then I'm on the Knicks. Prop Beaver said it best. This line is a little terrifying here. The Knicks have been rolling 5-0 straight up, 5-0 against the spread in their last 5. One of the hottest teams in the NBA. Dallas offensively has shown us nothing without Luka Doncic on the floor this year. Without Luka Doncic, they're 1-3, averaging just 109.8 points per game. A full 10 point less offensively per game without Luka on the floor. So from what we've seen, that offense is not the same without Luka Doncic. That being said, if you're looking for an angle to get to Dallas, Kyrie Irving usually plays pretty well against the Knicks. I mean, last year, the Brooklyn game, I think I was at the game. I was at Barclays, and I think he scored 22 in the 4th quarter to come back and beat us. So Kyrie Irving has played well against the Knicks, at least as of late. So maybe that could be an angle for Dallas. But overall, with no Lively, no Exum, no Luka, Maxi Kleber looked like he was going to come back. He's not coming back. Dallas is just too hurt, and Oh, man, this is so square. I'm actually, as I'm saying this, I'm scaring myself off it. I'm on Knicks -4. I already bet it. I gave it out on the ticket, but I think it's going to lose, to be honest. It's super square. Andy, you toast. Nope. We got college basketball coming up for them. So, yeah, as expected, our poll is all over the Knicks. Like, everyone's betting the Knicks here. Why isn't this line not going up, man? That's shit. 81% of you said you would lay in the 4 with the Knicks. Just 16% say you would take 81-16. That's the poll. Wow.
That's good. Yeah, it's good. Somebody asked Beaver, when are you going to get hot again? The effort's there. I try every day. I'm trying. I don't know the last time I was hot. It's painful.
Dude, I feel you.
I feel you, Toast. We'll get back soon.
Stephen Hairston is asking about Lively. Lively's listed as doubtful, so probably not going to play. Same goes for Maxi Kleba, Doncic, Exum, and Grant Williams might not even play off the bench for Dallas. Like, this team is gutted right now. How is this line? What are the odds makers seeing? Like, what am I missing here? Because the Knicks are also a team you could trust on the road, too. This line should be 6.5 at least. All right, we'll roll the dice on the public side here. Next game. All right, let's bring up Big Ten. Let's bring up Toast. All right. Michigan State at Illinois, and I caught a lot of heat for this one. Last night in the video, I said Michigan State plus 3.5. It's down to 3 now. A lot of comments were saying I'm crazy for not taking Illinois.
Weird. I didn't place a bet. I didn't place a bet. My uncle's on Michigan State. I know a lot of people that I respect on Michigan State. I don't know why you would catch so much heat for that. Illinois, a team without Shannon, Terrence Shannon, their best player. Let's just say he had some issues with the law that he needs to have resolved right now. But if you take him away, they still got some pretty good players. Coleman Hawkins being one of them. I mean, they have size and stuff. I mean, I'm not trying to say that Illinois is a bad basketball team, but you also have a Michigan State team that has been definitely underperforming from Michigan State standards, to say the least. And they have not performed well on the road. So that is where I guess you could see them having an issue with the pick. They haven't done well on the road. They don't have a road win yet this year. They've only played a couple. One against Nebraska. Nebraska, a really good up-and-coming team. They just beat number 1 Purdue. So, again, is that really that bad of a loss? I don't know. And then Northwestern, a team with Boo Buie, a really good player. Anything can happen. They don't shoot free throws very well. That's one thing with Michigan State. I think this is going to be a defensive battle. I mean, both of these teams are, depending on which metric you look, top 20 in overall defensive efficiency. The Illinois offense is really rated really high, but again, some of that's with Shannon, some of that's with not. If I gun to my head, I would take the points with Michigan State, but I didn't bet it myself. But yeah, it's just really hard. Yeah, now that I'm seeing that you blow that up, kind of scares me a little bit off of it. But yeah, I would still lean Michigan State.
Yeah, I'm bringing the pie charts in now. I guess I must have skipped the pie charts for this one. What is this? Game 5. All right, 1 second. Game 5. There we go. So here they are in the bottom left. And what Toast was saying was he was seeing that it's looking like a little bit of a public dog. But you know what? The line movement 4, 3.5 to 3. The line movement reflects it, which it's when the line doesn't move is when I get scared. So Toast said, gun to his head, he would lean Michigan State plus 3 or 3.5. If you look, you could probably find a 3.5. As you already know, that's the side I was on as well. Michigan State plus 3. Illinois offensively doesn't have as much of an outside threat as Michigan State does. Don't know a ton about these teams, but the notes that I was provided for this one made it seem like Illinois might have been a little overvalued. I liked the splits that Andy gave me for this game. Was he showed Illinois' numbers, and they had 14 games, right? In the last 7, in the last 7, when they started playing stronger competition, the points per game allowed goes up, field goal percentage allowed goes up. So Illinois' defense might be a little overvalued based on those splits. I'll take the dog here on the points. Andrew?
Yeah, I think when some people look at games like this, they'll look at like who you've beaten And Michigan State, fairly enough, has like one good win this year. It's Baylor. They beat Baylor, and they beat Baylor by a lot. But other than that, all the good teams they've played, they've pretty much just played close games where they lost. But Illinois is the same way to me. Like, Illinois beat Missouri. Missouri doesn't look like a good basketball team right now. As they've played better teams, they have not looked nearly as good as they were early in the year. They were playing nobody early in the year. Now they're obviously playing good teams, Big Ten play. The split showed a very vast difference in the way they're playing. So I think people are just looking at Michigan State and they're like, well, you haven't beaten anybody. Well, they're playing close games with everybody, and I've always gone back to that Baylor game because when this team wants to play well and when they want to get in for a game, they can. They just haven't beaten the great team yet. This isn't an Illinois team that I would even put to the level of those teams. I know it's on the road, but I just think Michigan State in this game, because it's Big Ten play, they can wake up for this game. I think they win the game outright. So I really don't see it there.
All right. Well, it's party up.
I would agree with that. If I'm playing Michigan State, you're going to have to sprinkle the money line because usually when they win and when they have played well, they've played very, very well, to Andy's point. So
Scoop says, if you picked Illinois in this game, you're just wrong. Sorry.
Give me the Illinois.
I'm putting it up for Prop Beaver.
Yeah.
Prop Beaver wants to get in on the game. He wants to take it.
I'm very excited to watch this one, though, to be honest with you guys, because if Michigan State looks like crap right now again in this game, it's going to be a long season for them.
So our poll, it is looking like Michigan State is a little bit of a public dog because our poll is leaning towards Sparty, 52% to 36%. 52 on Sparty, 36% on Illinois. Next game. Some more college ball, and we're headed out west. Pac-12. UCLA at Utah. This line's at 8.5. So I'll just put mine up first. As you guys know, I'm just really getting into college basketball now, so I'm playing catch-up as far as learning about these teams and their patterns, but did go through this one last night on YouTube. I used Andy's notes to do it, and I thought the best look here was the under at 130. I gave it out at 137.5. It looks like you can get it at 138 now. UCLA's offense is, those numbers were so funny. It was like 312th in field goal percentage, 321st in true shooting. Like the offensive numbers from UCLA are so bad, and Utah's defense had been great. They went on a little road trip to Arizona and Arizona State, and the defense didn't look as good. Now that they're back home, I expect the Utah defense to show up and look like its original self again. So I don't expect UCLA to score many points. But you know what? Like I said, defense travels, and UCLA's defense has been great. So give me the under at 138. Toast?
Yeah, my gut tells me that Utah blows them out of the water. But I have a feeling I still think that Mick Cronin is a good coach, and I can't understand how they can be possibly this bad. But even when he's talking to the media, I mean, he's throwing these guys like under the bus. Like some of the comments that he's making, like I find it really hard for some of these guys to play with them because some of these guys are coming over from Europe, so they're trying to already learn how to play like the language. There's just a lot of things going on with UCLA right now. So I didn't bet this one, but I would bet Utah. I mean, these guys are absolutely rolling right now. I mean, Brendan Carlson is an absolute monster. Gabe Madsen's a monster. I mean, these guys are 6'6". They're shooting the three ball at like 35%. Utah is the second biggest team in the country right now. It's just a lot of things going on. You got Utah coming off of two big losses in that Arizona series. You got against Arizona State, who's just randomly playing well right now. And now they come back home where they've been absolutely excellent, where they beat St. Mary's. They beat St. Mary's on the road, but they beat BYU at home, which is another good one. So, yeah, I think that Utah rolls. I didn't bet it because I've been terrible this year, and I'm a little bit gun shy, but I'd be surprised if UCLA hangs around in this.
Andrew?
Yeah, UCLA is a lot like Michigan to me. They're a mess. Yeah. You've got Mick Cronin bitching in every press conference every single day. Every game. It's every game. And every game I kind of think, I'm like, oh, they're going to figure it out because he's right. There's no reason they should be this bad. But every single game, they seem to outdo themselves pretty well. And now you're facing Utah. The home-away splits were very stark. Utah looked really bad in their past two road games, but when they come back home, they're a completely different team. So I'm with you. I think they blow them to smithereens tonight.
Wow, both you guys on the Utes. So I'm the only one that believes in the UCLA defense, I see.
I believe in them. I believe in the defense. There's no question about that. But even experience, UCLA 321. They've got a whole bunch of kids. Utah 53. I mean, everything they do. That Utah's got a deeper bench. The only thing that you can really say is that Utah can't shoot free throws to save their life. Barely at 69% as a team. That's 264 in the nation. So if it turns into that, maybe Mick just puts them on the line and hopes that they start missing. I don't know.
All right, I'm on the over here.
Appreciate it, Beaver.
Sports Center in the comments says he likes the over. So Sports Center faded me here. So the poll definitely agrees with you guys. Holy shit. 59-18. 59% on Utah, 18% on UCLA. So community heavy on the Utes. Next game, another college. Don't worry, Prop Beaver, you'll get the spotlight again at some point.
Yeah, I love this one.
It's the Zags. So let's start the poll. This line's at 8, right? And I don't know. Obviously, we've mentioned several times, be careful with going blindly by the data as far as where the action's coming in. But it's looking like Santa Clara might be a public dog in this one. And I think the public has it right. Santa Clara up. Gonzaga is just a fraudulent top 25 team. I think they're a middle-of-the-pack Western Conference program. So Santa Clara +8.
Appreciate that. I don't know how I follow that. So, look, I don't think Gonzaga loses this game. Again, I'm going to continue to say because I've been that bad this year, but I'm gun-shy. I think Gonzaga blows them out. I like the fact that Santa Clara is a public dog. I like the fact that shot quality model has Gonzaga winning by 13. I like the fact that Gonzaga has really started to turn up the offense the last couple nights, or last couple games, 101 against San Diego, 86 against Pepperdine, and that defense has been playing really well too. Obviously, Gonzaga's played a pretty rough schedule as well, but I will say Santa Clara, really good schedule as well. Carlos Marshall, has been an absolute stud for them. Look, I just think that I don't know what the numbers are. I'd have to pull them up. But Gonzaga's won 46 straight at Santa Clara. There's a whole bunch of things that Gonzaga has working for them. I understand that they haven't been good at not covering the number. That's why I didn't bet it personally. But what I did do is I bet Gonzaga, Maryland, moneyline parlay at 125 because I don't think either team loses. I can see either team maybe screwing it up and not covering at the end or one of them. But I do think both teams win, so I was able to pay that. But I think that Graham Ike absolutely shreds Santa Clara inside. Nembhard should have it working. I think they should be all right. But, we never know. Gonzaga's fucked me about 15 times this year, so you never know.
So Michael Dost in the comments, Santa Clara 1-4-1 against the spread at home this year. That's ugly. That points to a Zags bet. Andy, are you on the Zags?
I am. I've seen this story before. It happens every year. They'll pick out a West Coast team that'll Gonzaga will go on the road and they'll make it a close line. They'll be like, oh, they're a live dog, and then you'll look up and the Zags will be up by 20, and that's what I think will happen tonight. Look, West Coast, they run through these games. They played a tough schedule to prepare them to not have to really play very hard in these games. They can cruise through these games because they've played a tough schedule. They've already lost their games. They're ready to beat up on these teams. That's exactly why he plays. He's going to play Kentucky in a few weeks, but there's a reason he plays tough schedules. He doesn't care about these games. He knows he can blow these teams out. He's 10 times more talented than all these teams. The only advantage Santa Clara had, they're taller, but Gonzaga's 10 times more athletic. So I think they just run around them tonight.
So both those guys like the Zags. I sarcastically picked Santa Clara.
Love the Broncos tonight.
The Broncos? Is that Santa Clara? Is that them?
Yes. Yep. Santa Clara has played a decent schedule, but I feel like some of the teams that they've played, and this isn't just me as a Gonzaga homer, because I am one, I'll admit that, but Oregon, Ohio State, we just saw get beat last night, California, New Mexico, Utah State. They're playing these mid-major teams when Gonzaga is going and playing teams like Purdue, Syracuse, UCLA. Obviously UCLA is bad and stuff like that. UConn, San Diego State. So there's a little bit difference, I feel like, in the strength of schedule. But yeah.
Toast, Andy, this is the second time he asked about this game. He likes Tulane to win outright.
Yeah, I think Florida Atlantic blows them out of the water, but again, I'm really gun shy right now. I'm really gun shy.
All right.
Yeah.
Our poll's heavy on Gonzaga, 62-28% to Gonzaga. Next game.
Good analysis from Andy there on that game.
All right.
Florida Atlantic has lost 2 of 3, and now they're facing a Tulane team that's better than both of those two teams, Charlotte and Florida Gulf Coast. Tulane is good, but they don't rebound very well at all. They have no offensive rebounding in any way, shape, or form. They're not that big. I'm sorry, they're a little bit big, but they're not athletic. It feels like they're watching a whole bunch of blocks move around out there. Like, I don't know. I just don't really see it from them. They get a lot of success with that 2-point offense. They're like top 5 in the country, but FAU's got a lot of big guys. Trey Carroll, that Vladislav Golden kid, Rosario 6'8". I mean, they can definitely match up with them, and those kids are way better than them. So, and Tulane really not that deep either, which is really concerning.
All right.
I think Tulane has like 6 guys, and I'm not even kidding when I say that. They don't have more than 8. I'm dead serious.
All right. Well, we flipped the graphic over to Suns Lakers. It's a couple people in the comments agree with you, Toast. FAU bounce back spot. So Suns Lakers, and the poll's running, and I just want to say to the Phoenix Suns, I don't know what happened the other night against the Clippers. It was a bad spot for the Clips. I was getting 6.5 points in a buy low spot with Phoenix. I really liked it. Now, I wasn't upset about it because I had a great Monday night, and the Suns were my only loss. So I didn't let it get to me. But the effort that I saw out of the Phoenix Suns in the fourth quarter of that game, did you watch that, Prop Beaver?
No, I was saluting the comment that said my props both hit in the France game. But no, I did watch that game. But the way you talk about it was a traumatic event.
Because I was catching 6.5, and the Clippers were controlling the game, but the Suns were keeping it within like 8 to 11. Like, they were right there. I was never out of it. And it got to the fourth quarter, and the Clippers ended up winning the game by like 40. It was the team just stopped playing basketball, and then here we are again in a spot where, look at the line. This looks like a spot to bet Phoenix. It's a short line. The Lakers look really square here. If I didn't see what I saw from the Suns in that Clippers game, if that game didn't exist, I would be on Phoenix here. But there's no way I can bet the Suns right now until they show me something else. Because, and I'm not even like, if you're a Suns fan, I'm not even talking shit about your team. You should feel the same way. The effort, what the hell was that? The entire team, it got to the fourth quarter, and it was like 9-point game. Like 11 minutes left, like early in the fourth quarter. And Paul George hit a big 3. And then it got to like 14, but there's still plenty of time left, and that team just quit. Just flat out quit. So yeah, I got to take the Lakers here, but I don't absolutely love it. But this is just a pure fade of the Suns. I didn't bet this one yet. This one isn't on my ticket. There's actually a couple guys in the Discord that like the Suns tonight. I won't do it. So it's Lakers or pass for me.
Yeah, I don't really like this game at all. One thing I will mention is if you want to bet the Lakers, I recommend just wait until the fourth quarter. The Suns are the worst fourth quarter team in all of basketball. Negative 3.5 points margin. I saw something the other day where the first 3 quarters, they're excellent. The first 2 quarters, actually, they're really, really good. But once it gets to that second half, and more so the fourth quarter, I mean, they just completely fall apart. I kind of lean the under for this game. I was looking at some of the player prop totals for some of the stars. Like KD started off at 25.5. That's a bit egregious. And overall, I don't really think the Suns have gotten there as an offense with the guys on the court, with their stars all on the court. But their defense is significantly better on the road. That's something I've seen all season long. At home, one of the worst defenses in the league. I think they're actually 30th in defensive efficiency. On the road, that jumps to 2nd in defensive efficiency.
Well, the defensive efficiency in the fourth quarter against the Clippers was fucking shit. And that was on the road.
I thought about that, and that's why I'm not making any firm play on this game, because it's like, what defense am I going to get? The one who's really good on the road, or is their recent defensive slump going to carry into this road bout? So I was like, fuck that.
Hairston likes the Suns. He said he's a Lakers fan, but he likes the Suns in the over. So, and the data's showing public's coming in on the Suns. So people are still betting Phoenix. Maybe they didn't watch the same fourth. Maybe they didn't watch the fourth quarter of the other. Maybe it's just scarring my brain. But yeah, I would lean Lakers here. Prop Beaver, the last two are college basketball. If you need to bounce or if you want to hang out, I know you're doing NFL notes.
I don't need to bounce. I'll just fade the public play.
I'll just fade Andy, whatever he puts.
Yeah, just pretty much. Yeah.
All right, and so our poll's heavy on the Lakers there, 58%, 32%. So 58-32 Lakers. Next up, Arizona State at Arizona State at Andy, how come when you do the graphics, look how small the logo is in the top left? He makes these little tiny.
I don't know, but that logo sucks.
I know it is.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Agreed. No arguments there. All right, so Arizona State at Washington. This line's at 7. Let's get the poll running. +7. Washington -7. Toast, you were riding Arizona State there. You still riding them here?
Bobby F. and Hurley, baby.
You going back to him?
Man. I would lean there. I didn't bet it personally. Again, I've been so bad this year. I can't explain to you guys how gun shy I am. But yeah, I lean there. I'm probably going to put like a quarter unit on it. But yeah, I do think Arizona State should be the side here. Look, Arizona State is not a very good offensive team, but they are one of the better defensive teams in the country. Ken Palm, they're 29th in average defensive efficiency. In shot quality, they're even better than that. They really do a good job of limiting the three-pointers. They don't foul a lot. That's another good thing. They're really long and lengthy. They have experience. They're top 100. I will say that Washington's like one of the most experienced teams in the country. I'll give them that. But they match up really well with Washington. They're much bigger than them. And they've been playing really good basketball. I mean, and it's not just on the road, or I'm sorry, at home where they just beat Utah and Colorado. It's on the road where they beat Stanford, who's a really good team, and they beat Cal. Cal's not very good. They had a nice comeback win yesterday. But I just think that this is too many points with this Washington team that I understand that they've lost a couple games, 3 out of their last 4. Colorado, on the road at Colorado and Utah. That trip to Utah and Colorado, that's a really hard trip. So losing both of those, I don't really put too much stock into. But then another loss to Oregon. I mean, Oregon State's not a great basketball team, and they only beat them by 7 at home. So I think Arizona State can come in here and keep it close. They've been playing really good basketball right now. Both of these teams like to get up and go, so maybe I can see a little bit of an over. But the one issue that I have with the over is that Arizona State is like the worst free throw shooting team in the country. They barely shoot 60% as a team. So, yeah, they really play through their defense, like I said. So, Frankie Collins, Jose Perez, I need you tonight, boys. But, yeah, I think it's Arizona State.
I actually have a pick for this one, and you guys might laugh at my reasoning for it. I'm on the Huskies, so check this out. Last season, at this time, it was the first home game after the national championship game for TCU. Max Duggan showed up after losing to Georgia. He sat in the first row, and TCU upset Kansas State, beat them by 14, and they were ranked number 11 in the country. So here we are, Washington's first home game. I think Penix is going to show up, and I think Washington shows out. Appreciate the good football season. That's the only reason I have for this bet.
You know, Paul McCahey from Rutgers is on Washington, so he's kind of your boy. He's like from your backyard, you know.
There you go. But yeah, I'm
trying to help you out.
I'm on the Huskies. I have no idea if Penix is even going. I just know Max Duggan showed up. And remember, he showed up, sat in the front row. I remember that. So yeah, I'm on Washington for that reason, which might not even be a reason. Andy.
I really didn't love this game because I really don't know how to read Washington right now. I'm on Arizona State just because I think the number's pretty high, and I'll root against Severe Wheeler any chance I get.
Thank you.
Who's that?
He started at Georgia and transferred to Washington. He is
actually
transferred to Kentucky, then to Washington.
I was going to say you left out the big one.
Yeah, he transferred to an SEC rival, then to Washington. He's also not a good guy, all around bad guy. I will root against him any chance I get. And the number is really high for
turnover machine. Yeah, and he didn't have any turnovers. Yes, Severe Wheeler didn't have any turnovers against Oregon State. He's going to have like 5 tonight.
Yeah. Number's too high. I know it's a road game, but they're 4-0 to start conference play. You don't come in with that type of momentum and lay an egg. So,
I'm on the Huskies.
Nice. Me and Beaver are on Huskies together. The two guys who don't handicap college basketball on the Huskies. Against
Just feels right.
Toast, you should have seen last night. So they were working here, and we had the Georgia game on, and the halftime show came on, and Georgia's old coach came on the air, and Andy flipped out. How are they going to let this guy do the halftime show?
Like, truly a fucking clown.
I was so mad when I saw his face. I was so mad.
All right, so me and Prop Beaver on Washington, looking for Penix to show up at the game. That's what I'm looking for. Andy and Toast on Arizona State. Our poll is on Arizona State, so the poll agrees with the college basketball heads. It's 52%, 36% in favor of Arizona State.
Vibes are high in Georgia right now. I know. I've taken.
Did they end up winning that against Arkansas last night?
Game yesterday. Yeah, John Rossen tweeted about them. I mean, frick. The world is right in Georgia right now.
This next one, Toast actually sent in notes for this game last night, and Stanford's shooting numbers. What the hell? Like, that can't last, can it? Like, one of the best shooting teams in the country. What the hell, Stanford? Oregon State.
I know, dude. Crazy.
So you guys already know that I took the Beavers. I said last night on YouTube. I didn't bet it or anything yet, but if Toast and Andy co-signed it, I'm down to bet it. And I said on last night on YouTube, and I was like, this Oregon State basketball team plays better at home, just like the football team in Corvallis. Do they play in Corvallis basketball also?
Yep.
All right, beautiful. So, yeah, taking the Beavers in Corvallis.
Gill Coliseum is where they play.
Gill Coliseum. Okay.
Shout out Gill.
You on the Beavers as well?
Yeah. I like the Beavers here a lot, actually. I took the Beavers, I think, at 3.5 or 4. 4. I got it on 4 on Caesars. That's what I posted on
I think it's at 4.5 on something. You can get 4.5s now. I think it's split.
Even better. But yeah, Oregon State's going to try to slow this game down. There's a huge difference in pace here, which I like with how good Oregon State plays at home. Average possession length, 300th in the country for Oregon, 59th for Stanford. So that's a huge difference. Stanford, as Sauce alluded to, their offense has just been fantastic. 23rd in effective field goal percentage, 19th in effective three-point percentage. They don't shoot free throws fantastic, only 73%. Oregon State, on the other hand, a very good free throw shooting team, top 50 in the country. They do turn it over a lot, Oregon State does, but unfortunately, Stanford's defense, 319 in the country in turnover percentage, so they're not doing a lot, or forcing a lot of turnovers themselves. Oregon State can match up with them when they're size-wise, experience-wise, everything that you would look at. Stanford has a pretty decent experience wise, but I will say that Oregon State has the best player on the floor in Jordan Pope. So they play really well in Corvallis. Stanford is on an all-time high right now. I get that, but if they can do it again here in Corvallis, maybe I'll start looking to back them more. But coming off that USC loss, USC is pretty bad, guys. Very bad, as we saw last night, and then lose to that Washington. They lost outright to Washington State at home. And they beat Stanford lost to USC by 15 or something like that. So now on the road at Oregon State, I'll take my chances with a team that's going to slow it down. So yeah, I'm taking the points.
Andrew, you on the Beavers?
Yeah, I think it's just too early for Stanford. They did have a good run early in the year where they almost beat Arkansas, and then they played a tight game with Michigan. And I was like,
Arkansas's looking like trash though now.
I know.
Exactly.
That's the thing. I really don't know how to. There's a lot of teams where I'm like, all right, are you good or are you bad? Arkansas looked pretty bad yesterday. And
not just yesterday, they got slapped around by Auburn. What was that, Saturday?
Yeah. I like that Auburn team though.
And really quickly too, their Arizona win Arizona was in one of the worst spots you can have. They had 2 games in 3 days. They had to travel in between that day, so they had no prep time for that. I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just saying, like, you can really poke holes in what Stanford has done.
Perfect. Beaver up. Prop Beaver, are you on the
I'll be going with the Cardinals.
Prop Beaver like
it's
Stanford.
The Cardinal.
It's Stanford Cardinal.
No plural?
No, it's not. It's not the bird.
Why?
Maybe if you knew ball.
He said it's not the bird.
So Beaver's on the Cardinal.
I'm on the Cardinals. I'll stand on Pistons. I'm on the Cardinals. Thank you very much.
61% said they would take Oregon State, so maybe a public dog here. 30% said they would lay the 4.5 with Stanford. That's the last game. And now we have first we have an underdog from Prop Beaver. So let's get Prop Beaver's underdog up. Hold on, here it is. He emailed it to me. It's a 3-pick. I have it right here. And then we'll get to the community parlay. The suddenly scorching hot community, by the way. Community just cannot miss right now. 2 in a row, going for 3. All right, Prop Beaver, here is what you sent in. Let me get it on the screen.
Yeah. So we already discussed the first 2. Jaylen Brown under the rebounds. Kind of sucks that it's at 5, but still like that. I think he goes 4 or lower. Isaiah Hartenstein, it actually winds up working for us. If he gets the 11, then it's a push. I think he goes over that. And then I added Jaden Hardy. Don't know if I'm going to officially lock this in tonight, but it's a look I'm definitely considering. 5, 4, and 9 assists in 3 games without Luka Doncic and Dante Exum this season. He's played 2 without that duo with Kyrie Irving. In those games, he had 9 and 5 assists on 7 and 13 potential assists. So he's getting enough potential looks to cash this line. Now, the Knicks are a pretty stout defense, but if you're looking at recent guards to go against the Knicks, I mean, you got Shaedon Sharpe with 4. You got Kobe White with 8. Jalen Suggs with 6. So you got some guards hitting this number. It's not a relatively high number either. Just 3.5 it needs to go over. So that'll be our third leg for the slip purposes. We'll let you know if that's an official play on my Twitter.
Got it. So, yep, if his Twitter's right there. It's Prop Beaver. Many of you probably already follow him. So if you don't have an underdog account, it's available at any state highlighted in this map. So if you're in one of the states highlighted in yellow, head over to the website, Underdog Fantasy, or download the app. When you make your account, make sure you use the promo code BET, B-E-T. That'll get you a $100 deposit bonus match. So if you deposit $100, they will give you a free $100 to play with. And now, let's go for 3 in a row community parlay. 3 in a row we're going for now. Here is yesterday's. Let's clear the board. Board is clear. So we're going to do it like we did on Monday or on Tuesday. We're going to do a combination of NBA and college basketball based on what we talked about here. So the community likes Maryland. Celtics, Bucks. The community likes the Bucks. Excuse me. Blazers, Thunder. Community likes the Thunder. And Knicks, Mavericks. Community likes the Knicks. All right. First poll is running. Cast your votes. Someone wants to know where they can sign up for CapRX's premium.
CapRX's premium is it's on the black web. You need to get the red silk to access it.
Yeah, CapRX needs to make a comeback. Man, my voice is going. Just in time. We're almost done.
CapRX is still doing time in Guantanamo. Going to be at least another week or 2 before he's out. Yeah.
That was a July thing, right? Wasn't it July?
It was during baseball season. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, feel bad for the guy. He didn't do it.
For him.
CapRX is wrongfully incarcerated. First leg, Knicks money line.
Might have some value there.
And second place was Maryland money line. So if you voted for Maryland, you will get another shot. All right, so Michigan State was a public dog, so we'll put the Michigan State on there. UCLA, Utah, definitely Utah. Gonzaga, definitely Gonzaga.
Yeah.
And Suns, Lakers was definitely Lakers. All right. Second leg of the community parlay. Cast your votes. Someone just goes, well, there goes the parlay.
Yeah, I know. No, there goes the Knicks' chances of covering. That's why I like it.
All right, let's see what we got for the second leg here. Someone just gave you a compliment on your New York Rangers sweatshirt, Andy.
Thank you.
You should wear the Packers thing. It's really dope.
Sports Center says he likes CSU Northridge. They're 12-1 against the spread.
I got a couple others. If you want to tail me or fade me, either way. South Alabama plus 13. I really like UNC Wilmington minus 8.5. Long Beach State plus 4. Samford minus 3.5. That's pretty much it.
And the second leg's going to be the Zags. Knicks and Zags.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
The Zags make the community parlay for, I believe, the first time ever.
Sauce, like original right there. It doesn't get any better than that.
Yep, Knicks and Zags. Arizona State, Washington was Washington. Then actually, did Washington win that poll?
Yeah, we should look there because we don't want to ruin it.
Arizona State won that. So Arizona State, sorry about that. Then it was Stanford, Oregon State. And then the two second place finishers were
Maryland
money line, and the Utah money line. All right, what is the fourth leg of the community? Oh no, I'm sorry. This will be the third and fourth leg. So the two highest vote getters in this poll will make it.
Okay.
It's looking like Maryland off to an early lead. Maybe not. Cast your votes. System plays wants the Tampa Bay Lightning money line in the community parlay.
Buddy. Man. This ain't no hockey town around here.
We don't know puck.
We don't do puck around here.
The Lightning?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, giving it 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and poll. Maryland and Utah.
Okay, let me find them.
So it's Knicks money line, Gonzaga money line, Maryland money line, Utah money line.
Plus 251.
Plus 251. Community parlay. Going for 3 in a row. Knicks, Zags, Terps, Utes. Plus 251. Thanks as always for watching. Be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. just for an NBA show, though. So no college basketball show tomorrow. It's Friday night, so there's a good amount of NBA. Same time, 4 p.m. Yeah. Let's have a is Kyle sick? I don't know. I don't feel sick, but for some reason my voice is going and I've been coughing, but I feel fine. For some reason I just can't speak. But yeah, so let's have ourselves a good night. Hopefully this week, I'm 14-3 on picks I've given out on the website this week for the NBA. So I'm scorching hot right now. Hopefully that continues. And yeah, see you tomorrow. Bet responsibly tonight.